Today we're going to talk about Robert J. Marzano. He is very influential in educational reform business and is an education expert. Robert J. Marzano is very well known for his 9 instructional strategies. He is the CEO of Marzano Research in Colorado, Denver. He has over 50 books and 200 articles with over 50,000 reads. He has an elementary school called a Marzano Academy Elementary School. The robot is their mascot, and the name of the robot is Marzo. He was born on October 8th and is 72 right now. He has a pretty big family, 3 grandchildren, a wife, a son, and a daughter. In 2008, he won the award for the Brock International Prize in Education. For his education history, he started out at Iona College, New York, for his bachelor's in English. Then he moved on to Seattle University for his master's in reading and language. For his doctorate, he went to the University of Washington for curriculum and instruction. These are Robert Marzano's 9 instructional strategies. Identify similarities and differences, summarizing note-taking, reinforcing effort and providing recognition, homework in practice, non-logistic representation, cooperative learning among students, set objectives and provide feedback, generating and testing hypotheses, question cues, and advanced organizations. In Marzano's theory of 9 steps, the first step is identify similarities and differences. And he uses metaphors and Venn diagrams and compare and contrast diagrams, and even in Marzano's theory of 9 steps, the first step is identify similarities and differences. And he uses metaphors and Venn diagrams and compare and contrast diagrams. For comparing, he means complex process. For classifying, he means grouping things. So students learn about and practice. The first group is usually comparing, like a Venn diagram, which means you have complex process, identifying similarities and differences between things or issues. His next section is classifying. You can group things. It's to help the students learn about and practice, giving a chance to apply what they've learned. Then there's metaphors. You find a new pattern with a specific topic, and there's graphic organizers for that. This is an example of an analogy you would do. So you would have one subject here and one subject here. This subject is to this subject. The main purpose of identifying similarities and differences is to help students understand with more complex problems by analyzing them in simple ways. The second strategy in instructional strategies is summarizing and note-taking. These are both study skills. They both work with filling missing parts. When you're summarizing and note-taking, you are going to fill in missing parts, transforming into a synthesized form. The summary, they use the TRI formula, which is topic, reason, idea, or you can use problem and solutions, or in a conversation summarization. For note-taking, You can do informal outline notes, webbing notes, combination notes, teacher prepared notes, so maybe a fill in the blank notes while you're going through the lesson. The students can fill in blanks or give them an outline of what's going to be talked about in class so they can already see what's going on so they can further in depth their reading. The third strategy in instructional strategies is to reinforce effort. So, one process he did a lot is the pause, promote, and praise. Pause is to look at what you've accomplished so far. Look at how far you've read, you've worked, you understand. Promote is to tell people that you know this. Let people know that you understand. To be able to enunciate what words or phrases you've learned. And then praise the person you're talking to. Praise them. Good job. Great job. You did so good. You're learning so much. You're improving so well. You're growing. The second part of strategy 3 is providing recognition. This means to, as much as possible, really, to promote their effort, make sure they know that they're making it. In multiple rubrics I've seen, it says students should work on tasks complete and continues working on tasks even when difficult times come. The fourth strategy is to homework and practice. Homework is supposed to be somewhere to further the child's study and deepen the understanding of the topics learned in class that day or that week. When it comes to practicing, you are enhancing learning, you're expanding the. For practice, it means that you are enhancing learning, you are able to bring speed, accuracy into. The fifth strategy is non-logistic representation. That is coming back to comparing, planning, brainstorming, researching, presenting, writing, and evaluating with comprehending. These are used in different graphic organizers, pictograph representation, mental images, physical models, and kinetic representations. The main purpose is to stimulate and increase activity in the brain. It might not create representation of non-logistics on their own, but you can create it with like Venn diagrams, time sequences, or webs or cause and effect patterns. The sixth strategy is cooperative learning among students. So this means you got group work. You want everyone to be able to talk and communicate and create and collaborate, working together, getting the topic together. You want them, every grade level can use this in any subject area. This helps students to learn and master specific skills for working in groups. They use elements of cooperative learning, so that means they're talking, they're figuring out, putting topics together, compromising, and they're also varying group criteria. So that really means like if you're doing science and you're working on an experiment, you're bringing in your own ideas into the experiment to further enhance the learning for everybody else. And then group sizes. You're not going to want a group too big. All these pictures have like 5 to 3 people in them, which is usually the cooperative size for grouping. Strategy 7, we have setting objects and providing feedback. So when you're setting objects and providing feedback, you're going to always have. This is really to give students direction and help them think about their own learning. Strategy 8 is testing a hypothesis. This is to enhance their learning and helps the students to explain their hypothesis, and conclude their hypothesis. This is problem solving, decision making, investigation, and invention. The two main words he uses for this strategy is system analysis and problem solving. Because with problem solving, you have a puzzle. System analysis is where you are giving a student a model for the process, using familiar content to teach students, to give students graphic organizers, giving students guidance as needed, or explaining their hypothesis and conclusion. The last strategy is cues, questions, and advanced organization. This is used to further in expanding or connecting students' reading to articles or everyday work. One main thing that Robert J. Marzano has for every topic is a rubric. The rubric always goes, I got it, I can do this, I can explain, I can work through it on my own and teach somebody. Number 3, you understand it, most of it, but you cannot teach anybody. You can only basically do it on your own. Number 2 is, I need more practice. I sort of understand. I am working through it. I have some confusion. Number 1 is, you don't understand it. You just, something's not clicking, and you're just very confused, very frustrated,